Hello, sweet souls. This is DTO in the flow, wanting you to know that I'm grateful that you're here. Let's everyone take a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth exhale. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get grounded. Let's get present because today we get to speak about music. La música, muy importante. And I want to remind everyone, this might be your first moment seeing who I am. I am DTO, and I'm a producer, musician, and I love to feature fellow artists on my program. And today I get to interview an amazing soul that we connected through our global digital connections. And oh my gosh, before we even get started with the interview today, because I want to know where you're located, because you're going to learn today that myself, as well as my guest today, we're located in different parts of the world, and we imagine that you are as well. So please type in the comments below. Let us know where you're located. It's always a curiosity of mine. And also, we are live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the places and spaces. So make sure you subscribe and share. And if you have any questions during this process of our 5Q interview, feel free to comment, ask a question. And as I said, sharing is caring. And if you don't feel like typing any complex words or sentence structures, you're just chilling, then just give us your favorite emoji. This is the world of emojis. So we love to see what you're feeling when you're listening to music. You got the headphones. When you're feeling it in your heart chakra, you got the heart. And so that's what we love, is to have this be an interactive experience for everyone. All right. So thanks again for you and your presence of being here. Okay. So let's get into it. As you can see, there's an extraordinary DJ. And if you look closely, her name is Iszabel. All right. So give Iszabel a shout out. If you know who she is, put it in the comments. This is live streaming on my pages as well as Iszabel's pages. So of course, you know who she is. And I'm sure that you're going to be very excited to hear more of her backstory of where she began and how she got into music, and then bringing up to present day about this amazing online program that she has been developing. If you have ever taken an online course, you know that it can be so powerful when you get that customized, clear intention of what this e-course is going to offer you. All right, without further ado, let's bring in the bio so we can read about who Iszabel is. She is an ecstatic dance DJ, movement medicine teacher, sound therapist. She holds classes, workshops, retreats, and ceremonies around the world. Growing up with parents in the 60s, Iszabel thought going off to be quiet every day was normal and started meditating at an early age. Oh, perfect. Trailblazer. I love it. Like all good teenagers, she rebelled. Dun, dun, dun. And denying spirituality for a different kind of worship, traveling down the motorway at weekends, holding a spot in the club, usually by the speaker, and emerging the next morning, happy, fulfilled, totally danced out. And that's such a great feeling, right? When we get to be fully self-expressed in our bodies. Not knowing what to do with a degree in modern and medieval history, Iszabel looked inward and asked her heart. A career in the music industry followed, and Iszabel promoted large events in London and spent 10 years at the BBC Radio 1 and 1Extra producing studio programs and documentaries. Iszabel started dancing consciously over a decade. Desperate to fill the gap left by the clubbing days and eager to reconnect with her roots and explore a more awake and aware way of being, Iszabel stepped into a conscious dance space and immediately felt at home. The transformational experiences that she had on the dance floor compelled her to share this practice. As synchronicity works in the world, she asked that she would like to have a session, and she went to a festival in France where she facilitated and began to have these experiences led by her, which is really powerful. I can't wait to hear more about the ecstatic dance. And so Iszabel currently is a resident ecstatic DJ at Ibiza Tribe and has a monthly radio show on Open Lab Music Medicine. Iszabel mixes shamanic tribal beats rooted in the elements with underground club vibes. She combines technical skills with physical and emotional healing, fostering a sense of freedom and deepening the relationship with the self and others as the world around us, right? So when you play these ancient and spiritually revered instruments, putting it into this natural vibe and this new electronic dance space, oh my gosh, I think those combinations are phenomenal. And so this is what Iszabel is a genius at, is weaving these into her sets and really taking people on a journey in the dance floor. And so there's group relaxation, reflective sound therapy sessions. Iszabel plays the gong, Himalayan bowls, crystal bowls, percussion, and she also holds cacao ceremonies. All right, let's bring her on. How are you?
Hola, DTO, ¿qué tal? How's things?
Fantástico. Salud.
Yeah, we're both in Spanish-speaking countries, although a bit at other ends of the world. I'm in Ibiza, and I believe you're in Costa Rica, right?
I am in Costa Rica. And for people out there that don't know where Ibiza is, you want to explain?
Yeah, it's a small island off the coast of Spain, so Europe. And it's nighttime here, so we're kind of night and day, you and me.
Yes, the light in the dark, right? So is the path of the yogi.
Yeah, as we have all of it in us at the same time as well.
Aho, absolutely. Wonderful. Well, I'd love to begin our 5Q interview. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. So here we have it. Question number 1. La pregunta número 1 para Iszabel. All right, Iszabel, when did you begin your personal journey with music? Take us down memory lane. How did it all begin?
Wow, what a question. I imagine that I was listening to music as a baby in my mama's womb, but I can't vouch for that one exactly. But very early on, music was a big part of the household that I grew up in, and we used to collect around the record player and play vinyl and old tapes and that kind of thing. I used to record my own radio shows with my brother very badly early on, and yeah, just had a profound love of music from an early age, and listening mostly, I guess, to my parents' influences to start with. You know, the Beatles, they were children of the 60s, and Free and Family. I don't know if you guys out there know some of those old kind of 60s bands, but yeah, that kind of like got me in. And then I sort of explored in my own way, and at junior school I was buying 7-inch records and exchanging tapes instead of stickers with my classmates. And yeah, this deep love of music kind of was in me, and then I sort of went from those influences and the kind of more rocky guitar music stuff I found in my, well, probably about 11, 12, kind of this fusion of electronic and the more rocky sounds. I remember loving a band called Pop Will Eat Itself back in the day. And yeah, that kind of took me on a journey into electronic music. And by the time I was young teenager, I like to call it my well-spent, misspent youth, I was, as you said in the intro, driving. Well, I wasn't driving. I was in a car that somebody else was driving, all around the UK, going to Bristol and Birmingham and London and Swindon, to listen to beats and just to dance the night away. And that was my great love. And as you said, I didn't really know what to do with a degree in modern and medieval history. And I looked inward and I asked my heart, and I sat there. I remember sitting there in my my student bedroom in the third year, and I went, well, what do I love? And my answer was music and dancing. And so I basically made a career out of that. Yeah, I ran my own drum and bass and hip hop nights in London, worked for some artists and record labels, and then got the producer gig at BBC Radio 1 and 1 Extra, where I was for a decade. And had a lot of fun there. It was great working with all those creative people. And I really valued that experience. And then kind of as I got a little bit older, the clubbing sort of started to wear a little bit thin, and there was this gap in my life for a couple of years. And that's when I stepped onto this more conscious dance space. It was a massive church with 150 people, and it was a practice called Five Rhythms, which you and some of the people out there might have heard of, but it's a conscious dance practice. And I just immediately felt at home, and that was kind of what birthed my career as it is now. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, actually, Hemale and I, we were featured at the Lake Havasu Yoga Festival, and I worked with an amazing solar named Misha, and she introduced me to the Five Rhythms, and she knows like the founders of it. It's a man and a woman that started it, right? And it's
Gabrielle Roth.
Yes. And so it's really wonderful to hear your journey, right? Of being able to experience from the Beatles to clubbing music to then getting into static dance, more conscious flow of movement. And wow, that's the power of music as well. There's so much on the menu.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can take you down so many paths.
Absolutely. I love it. That's so great. Okay. So obviously you absorbed the music, you experienced it, you danced, you felt it, you got lit up, you got activated by it. So question number 2 then is specifically around what got you into DJing, what made that move happen? And then the question 2 is around, what makes your DJ sets unique?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, literally as soon as I stepped on that conscious dance floor, like I said, I felt at home, and I just had this in me to share the practice. I was like, I want everyone in the world to experience this joy, this freedom, this transformation that I'm experiencing. Everyone should know about this, And like I say, I spent 10 years at Radio 1, 20 years in the music industry. I had no aspirations to be a DJ. All my friends were DJs, I was working with all this talent. I'm like, I'm a behind the scenes kind of girl. That's me. Just, I'm behind the scenes. And then I found the dance, and I'm like, yeah, I have to share it. And suddenly, like, all that opportunity where I could have learned how to DJ from experts that I'd never taken up, I was like, I have to do this. I really have to do this. And I mean, it was beautiful and profound how quickly it all happened, actually. And I mean, I just had this sense that was my purpose, and that's what I had to do. But I didn't really do anything about it. I just carried on dancing, and very, very quickly, within a couple of months, I was helping a friend out at an art gallery in East London, and we were doing he was running a conscious dance event. Big ups, shout out to Christian D'Souza. And somebody walked through the door, and they were like, what's going on? And I was sort of helping out, and I explained, and it ended up this guy ran a festival in France, and we met for a coffee, and he's like, I really want conscious dance at a festival in France. And I'm like, great, I can hook you up with amazing teachers. I know a lot of people in the scene now. And he's like, no, I want you to do it. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you really sure? And he's like, yeah, I am actually. And I'm like, okay, well, I've got this passion and this desire to do it. So, okay. And I taught myself to DJ. I mean, obviously with a music industry background, I had a kind of this innate sense of how music is structured. And, I'd been dancing and clubbing, and the music had landed in my body in a very embodied way. And so, I just did a few little tutorials and scratching my head and reading manuals and trying to work it out and playing with knobs and buttons. And yeah, that was my first gig at this festival, Pete the Monkey in northern France. And that was it. After that, it just went, and I've been facilitating around the world ever since. So yeah, I mean, I love it. I am an ecstatic dance DJ with residencies in both the UK and Ibiza, and I'm also a teacher of movement medicine. And I think what kind of makes my sets unique is that I often bring both of those modalities into the way that I DJ. I love ecstatic dance for the creativity it gives me as a DJ. I have 2 hours just to take people on this journey, up, down, left, right, in, out. And, I can play all the kind of different genres, and I can get really kind of funky with the effects and all that sort of thing. And I really love that, and I really appreciate that. and the movement medicine practice that I teach is a combination of ancient shamanic wisdom with modern psychotherapy, and for me it's been a very, very deep practice personally. I mean, it's totally transformed my life, changed my patterns, changed my stories, connected me with community, connected me with the spirit world and the earth and the appreciating and the interconnectedness of everything. And so, I kind of really bring in that sort of like deep shamanic kind of bassy beats and yeah, like the kind of underground club vibe comes in, a bit of London in there, a bit of UK, a bit of Ibiza. It all kind of comes in. But yeah, for me, it's a very, very privileged position to be able to offer the work, because I guess it kind of goes back to I'm a DJ, but in a way I still feel behind the scenes, because I talk on the microphone and I'm up the front, but I very much feel like I'm in service. What I'm doing is for the dancers, is for the people out there, in the same way that other DJs and facilitators have done that for me. And it's really, helping people empower themselves. So the music I play, gets people into their bodies, into their hearts, into their minds, allows space to be created, allows transformation to happen, allows kind of blossoming. So it's a very beautiful process to witness.
Wow, that's glorious. And I have had those heart-opening experiences on dance floors where it's wow, you just feel so connected, and not only to yourself but to community and others, and to the vibes and the music. So in essence, it's so wonderful to hear how you're paying it forward, right? You receive the medicine, the goodness, and now you get to, create those experiences. And it started in France. And I loved the story around, sometimes the universe just like pushes you forward, like, here you go. Like, you throw your hat over the wall and you just trust you'll get it. You jump off the cliff and the net will be there. And, and I love how you had that courageousness to say yes, because you could have said, no, I'm just going to go back into being a support, player in the music industry. But for you to like jump in and do that, I love that. So question 3 is, how do people respond to your music? What do either people say? What do you observe on the dance floor? Like, what is the essence of what people share with you?
Wow. I mean, what a question, because it's like you see, and what happens on the dance floor is the full spectrum of human experience. It's everything from those peak elated connected moments where people are feeling so joyful and in love with themselves and in love with everyone there and in love with the earth, and and then there's the trauma that comes up, and people's real pain points that come through the dance, that the dance floor provides this safe space to work with those things. Me, myself, healing from an abusive relationship, for example, or, other kind of difficulties that I faced in my life. So all of that can come up on the dance floor, and the music, is a support and a resource for that. And so it's just everything. You can dance your anger. I've seen people grieving their recently dead mother. I've seen people angry at the world. I've seen people connecting with their ancestors and speaking to their grandmother, talking light language. I mean, becoming an animal, becoming a power animal. Anything can happen on the dance floor. It's just like I say, the full spectrum. It's the full spectrum, and that's what the music and the space and the practice creates the opportunity for people to feel, heal, and transform all that they have and are.
Oh, I love that. And you know, the spectrum of human emotions is very similar to the spectrum of frequencies and sounds and different
Yeah.
BPMs and rhythmical journeys. And then the dynamic of who's on the dance floor, and here's this soul over here, and here's where I'm at, and to get to see and witness each other. And as I love that safe space that gets created in that container, it's really powerful, especially in the conscious ecstatic dance realm where we're there to grow and expand.
Totally. And I mean, you'll know as a musician that the resting heartbeat is about 60 BPMs. And, you know, that's the kind of type of track that I start with. It's about 50, 60 BPM. And then moving through, like, as we bring energy and heat to our body, as we exercise and do something like dancing, our heart rate raises up to about 200 BPM. And, you know, that's the BPM of my most banging tracks. So it really is incredible how, you know, the music and our bodies and the practice all correlate and intertwine. You know, it's yeah, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
I love that. I know it's cliche to say, but, you know, life reflects art and art reflects life, right? And the music creates the life, and the life is the music, and you get to really intertwine those energies. And wow, I love all of those emotions being released that you shared, and it's so powerful.
Yeah. And then combining the electronic music through the DJ sets, and then, you know, I'm quite often playing the gong or the bowls, and kind of bringing in those more organic sounds and those ancient healing instruments is, for me, I love playing with those kind of different sort of sounds and different textures of sounds as well.
Yeah, I love that blend, and to meet Eastern instruments, Western instruments, and to take in those ancient sounds that, you know, and for anyone that doesn't know, when the bowls are played, it creates this hum sound, right? And so it really gets in your consciousness in a powerful way, and you get to feel it in certain parts of your body, and it really can teleport you, right? It's like, wow.
Absolutely. And shift things that are stuck inside the body and create space. You know, it's very, very powerful.
Absolutely. Okay, so question 4, before we get into it, I feel this is a great opportunity, and I love your responses to the first 3 questions, because it really allows for everyone to know your backstory, what inspired you to DJ, or what's the circumstances you were in to be able to claim that amazing divine dharmic path that you're on to be a DJ, and then how you get to have an impact with people on the dance floor and pay it forward, and really understand the power and the magic and the transformative possibilities with music. And so you've developed an online program, and I want to show everyone what your teaser trailer looks like. So anyone out there, put your headphones on, turn up the volume, crank it up, and we're going to take you on a quick little journey. And here is DJ Mystery to Mastery.
Empower yourself by learning to DJ. Let go of fear and find your joy. DJ Mystery to Mastery is a heart-based approach to the art of mixing music, created for embodiment and health practitioners, or if you want to unleash your inner DJ. Part 1 gives you the foundations to build your DJ career. Part 2 takes you into the nitty-gritty of DJ software. Part 3 expands into the creative aspects of DJing. And Part 4 takes you out into the wider community. You can do the course in your own time, or join the 6-week program, which includes Q&As and masterclasses with me, Iszabel. Check the link for more info. Full power to you for expanding yourself and your offering.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Thank you. Well, yeah, it's been 2 years in the making, actually. I mean, from the initial idea. So yeah, it's good to have it out in the world now.
Oh, it's so wonderful. And I feel a lot of people, especially during these interesting times in human history, where we get to take on brand new possibilities of learning, of growing. And for this program to now be launched, I feel is perfectly timed. And how wonderful that, you know, again, you're paying it forward, where you can share those skills and all your experiences that you've had, to put those into those modules and to have a curriculum that really takes people into what they're here to create. So here's the program. Question 4 here. Tell us about the program and DJ Mystery to Mastery. I'd love to put up the artwork for that. I think it's a really great way. And you have the tagline here below, which is a heart-based approach to the art of mixing music. Wonderful.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the inspiration for the course came actually, like I say, 2 years ago during my professional training in movement medicine with my teachers, Yakov and Susanna Darling Khan. And what I noticed were what I perceived as quite a lot of fear and confusion amongst my contemporaries in regards to music and technology and equipment. And it can be really scary at first. You know, there's cables everywhere and you don't know what goes in where. And, you know, the look at the screen and it's like, well, what is all of this, you know? And because I'd already been facilitating for you know, several years prior to that, I kind of stepped up and took on just in a very small amount of time in that training, but a kind of teaching role and just showing people how to use it and you know, how to feel about it as well, which is the other thing. And I was just getting really good feedback from that, and people were asking me, can I do a few videos? And I just saw this, you know, this space to be of service to the community, you know, and for me, you know, obviously I've had a background in the music industry, and music is very, very important to me, but I also see it on the dance floor. And as you know, DTO as well, like music is a great healer and it can also traumatize, right? So it sounds like that come out of nowhere, a bit like, I don't know, heard something then. It's funny how I was saying then, you know, or like sirens, or, you know, it can shock our body. And I love the dance so much. And there were so many times that I was in classes and I'd be deep in my own process, and there would be this clanging mix with, you know, harmonies clashing and beats clashing, and I'd be like, oh God, what's going on here? And I'd sort of be taken out of my healing process. So, you know, like I say, this is really, really come from my heart and my soul in a real desire to serve people and to serve the community and to, you know, widen the reach if possible, you know, in my own small way, but widen the reach of this work, because I really, really believe in it. And so, yeah, the course is a heart-based approach. It's, you know, it's not about ego. It's not about telling everyone how much I know and, you know, all that kind of thing. It's really, really breaking it down. And I hope and I intend for people to, you know, develop a different relationship with mixing music and to really use it and use the skills from the course to like supercharge their own medicine. So that's why it's created, you know, specifically for health and well-being practitioners, conscious dance teachers, you know, from ecstatic dance to movement medicine, 5 rhythms, open floor, all of them are included. And also, you know, breath workers. I go to breath work sessions, and sometimes again, I'd love for there to be that kind of wave in the music that really supports me in my process. So I'd love it if, you know, breath workers got involved, and yogis, and, you know, anyone who wants to create their own unique mixes for their classes, and also anyone who wants to learn to DJ in a more holistic way, you know, maybe from a woman, maybe from somebody who comes from embodiment. You know, there are practice sessions after each video. There's 32 videos, and there's practice sessions after each one. And yeah, they're like technical practice tasks, but it's also about dancing. It's about embodying the learning, you know.
Love it.
So yeah, so the whole course is like this 4 parts, and it takes you through everything from the, you know, the foundations of music and setting up kit and genres and finding tracks, and then we go into the software, and then we go into the kind of creative beautiful playfulness of DJing as well, and then kind of out into the wider world. So I hope it's it's a full package for people. And I mean, I had no idea what was going to happen the last year, and the big C word, because this online course was an idea before that. But if anybody does have time in there, and they're at home and they just want to learn a new skill and upskill and empower themselves and work with music in a different way, then I hope this serves them too.
Here's a wonderful photo of you in paradise.
Yeah, that's Ibiza. This is my lovely, beautiful home. Yeah.
This is the best photo ever. If anyone just wants to live this kind of life, then sign up for the course. Oh, so blissful. I love it. Wonderful. So we're going to go into our last question. It's a 5-question interview, and somehow we're on number 5 already.
Oh, no.
So where do people go to sign up? I have someone that commented right here. This may be a friend of yours, Mira. Sounds so good. Amazing. Love to work with you.
Hi, Mira. Oh, hi, Mira. Oh.
Natalie says, beautiful. Thank you, Natalie. So where would people go to sign up? Is it, what's the best way?
Yeah, so the first port of call, I guess, is my website. All the details are on there, Iszabel.com. Yeah, thank you. It's up on the screen now. So yeah, you can follow the link to the DJ course from my website. And you can also, check out the mixes I've done there and that sort of thing. And follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Iszabel.x is my social media handles. So get in touch. The World Wide Web makes it relatively easy now. So I'd love to hear from any of you guys, and especially if you've been watching this interview and you're interested in the course, and we'll do a little free mix, and there's a free masterclass coming up. So I break down a little bit more about the course. So if anyone's interested in that, just sign up, DM me. Get in touch. Either Iszabel.com or Iszabel.x. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. So this is your Instagram. So anyone that wants to follow, of course, I'm following you already. And here is your video that we watched, the Mystery to Mastery. And
so again, it's exclusive. I mean, it's only 2 posts recently. So
yes, this exclusive. Is fresh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Really great. And here's a great behind the scenes of you DJing.
And actually Open Lab there, I have a radio show on Open Lab, which is a radio station here in Ibiza. And it's also online, openlab.fm. So I do a monthly show called Music Medicine. And it's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's sort of loosely based on an ecstatic dance wave, and I bring in the teachings of movement medicine and ecstatic dance, and it's all about raising awareness, raising consciousness about who and how we are through the beats. That's monthly on Open Lab. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for being here. It's been such a joy and pleasure. And I do want to share our quick origin story that you found my music and you fell in love with a song of mine. And then you reached out and you said, hey, DTO, and you wrote me an email, or it was Instagram, however we all connect.
Yeah.
And so any musician or artist out there, just know that when you put it out there like a message in a bottle, you never know who's going to respond. And I'm grateful that Iszabel, you wrote to me and told me that you were touched, moved by my music, and that here we are talking about your program, and the song that you love is going to be in the program. And now we get to share this joy. Oh, and Natalie said that your radio show is amazing. Big props to the radio show. So wonderful. Yes. Yeah. So I'd love to hear any closing words that you'd like to share.
Oh, well, firstly, thank you for your music, because your music is medicine as well. And I've really seen it transform people on the dance floor. So really genuinely heartfelt thanks for that. And it's a tough time for us creatives. If anyone wants to support us in any way they can, and that would be great. And mostly, I guess, just please everyone, keep dancing, keep dancing through these times, especially. Move your body, find space, find freedom in the body. Even if you can't go out, you can't connect, you can't see the people you love face to face, you know, love this, move this, feel this, you know, and move it and dance it and put on a banging track or a tender track, and just move your body and allow yourself to feel, because you start to feel and you start to heal. And it's through that I believe that we can shift the direction of the world and hopefully pass on an earth for the next generation to keep hold of.
Oh, yes. So glorious. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all the viewers that are here on our live stream and anyone that's here watching on the archive. We know you could be so many places and you're here to experience the vibrations and the power, and you're a believer in the transformation that can take place with music. And I love what you said, when you feel, you can heal. And that's that connectedness to who we are. So wonderful. So big stretch across the Atlantic Ocean from Costa Rica all the way to Ibiza. Do some 60 to 200 beats per minute. And, thank you for being here. Such a pleasure. And Mira has a last minute thing to say. Says you're amazing with your music medicine. Some more affirmation and gratitude.
Big love.
Big love. Thank you.